Alright guys, welcome back to this channel. Today I'm going to be fixing this Frigidaire air conditioner. So basically it's been having some problems with freezing up, and you might open inside and you start to see it looking white like that, and it's frosting up inside and outside. And a lot of people do tell you that it's something you need to fix outside, and that can be a possibility, possibly needing to regas it and all of that stuff. But today I'm just going to show you guys how to change the relay, because that is a big possibility and I have seen that been the problem in the past. So I'm going to show you guys how to open this up and put a new relay and take out the old one and put a new one in, which is actually in a box just located on this side. So let's get into this video. I'm using an impact driver, impact wrench. You can use this or you can just use a screwdriver. Anyone will work. I'm just using this because it's a little faster. There's going to be a screw here, another one here, and then this one more to take off this cover with this specific brand. Before you do any work, you should unplug this. My plug is just a little over here. Unplug it so everything's safe. I still wouldn't suggest touching wires because capacitors can hold some charge. And next, just take out these two filters. As you can see, this is really starting to get frosted up, all of that snow-like stuff. That is what you don't want, because it gets to the point that it freezes enough that it's just solid ice, and this is what air goes through, so it won't be able to work properly. Just take out this one more screw over here for this cover and remove the cover. You will find this wire that comes from this panel that actually has the lights on it that tells you what temperature it's at and all that stuff. Basically just pull this out of there, and there should be this clip that it clips into. You just want to press down on it and it'll just slide out like that. This can be tricky if you don't know how to do it. So in this case, you just take the end right here and you push it this way. So just do that, and then it should come out like that. And then do the same for this side, except everything's out, so it should just slide that way easily. And you have this whole piece off. You can just rest that to the side for now. The next thing you'll need to do is this whole thing will come off. So there's 2 clips in the front here. So we'll start with that. You just pry those. They're a bit tough to come off, so you have to be a little bit rough with it. Just pull those off. And after you pull those off, there's some clips on the top. I'm gonna try to show you guys. There's some clips here, some clips here, and as well over there. So you're just gonna take your hand and gently pull up on these. Again, you have to be somewhat rough with these for it to come off. Once that unclips like that, then this whole thing should come off. So now that this is just loose, this should just slide off and you have this whole piece. It's just a process of removing this box. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. We're going to start by, there's 2 screws here that actually clamp down some wires here. And I actually had this open before, so the wires, there should be a twist tie holding this down and stuff. But that shouldn't be hard. And these 2 screws here are ground wires, and those are both going to have to come out as well to get this black box out. So we're just going to take out those quickly. Loosen these. For all of these wires, you may, in terms of these don't really matter where they go, up or bottom, but for these ones you might want to write down which one goes where, because that will be important and it's easy to forget. I actually just wrote down a little schematic. So the brown goes under red, green goes under black, and these 2 colored green and yellow wires both match each other. So, and there's also going to be 1 screw on top of here that you can take out. That's what keeps this loose. That's what has this loose right now. And there's also this sensor that just gently pulls out like that. And the last thing that you really have to pull out before you get to those wires is just this. You basically, there's a little clip on it, so you can just push up on the clip and pull up on this, and you can just stick that metal piece back in there for now, and you just have this out because that is part of this pull box. So I can't use the impact driver for these screws because it doesn't fit. So you can just use screwdriver. There's 3 screws. You just need to remove the bottom ones. So you can just unscrew these. They don't need to be unscrewed all the way, just loosened, just so the wires can be loose. So unscrew those 3 screws. They should just gently come out. Maybe a little bit of force, but not too much should be needed to get these out. This one's a bit tough to get out. So now that you have those wires out, just lift this up, and there's gonna be just a few more wires inside here. So you can actually just unwrap this. You can actually just take anything that you can put it in between this little space in there, and just pry this cover. That's all. Just pry that cover off, and there's going to be all of these wires that connect here, and you're just going to gently pull those out. And once you have those out, that's what you're going to have. The relay is inside this. We're going to have to do some desoldering and some soldering. Okay guys, so the next thing you're going to do, there's a few clips around here that you're just going to have to pry open a little bit. You can use your fingernail or something like a screwdriver, anything like that, that can just pry these open, and it should come off fairly easily. So this is inside. This is the relay that we're going to be changing. You can just unclip these clips that go onto this transformer just to make life a little easier. Less mess in the way. Put that aside. And so this is the relay we're going to change. So I actually already have this unsoldered, but the process to get it unsoldered is pretty simple. So there's going to be 1 screw right here. I actually took that out already. It's a pretty small one, and you can just take a screwdriver and pry it up, and this whole thing just lifts up like that. So you'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 places that you have to desolder. I have a desoldering gun, but if you don't, you can use just a soldering iron and try to get it out while it's hot still. So because I have this unsoldered already, you can just get these 2 clips that just go on there. Now you have this relay. This isn't necessarily a new one, but it is one I got from another air conditioner unit. You just need to make sure that all the ratings are the same. If you want to buy another one of these, I will put a link in the description to one that you can buy, and also you can just read this little code. That's how you can find them online. There should be 4 places that you solder, and I actually already did solder it. I didn't get it on camera, but you can just put some solder. It might take a little bit to get hot, and then put the solder on in the 4 places, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And when that's done, you can just get the board back in its place underneath there. And that clips in just like that. And you can just take the screw. Hopefully you remembered where these wires come from, but the red one goes on, after it's soldered, it goes on this one, and the black one goes on here. We're just gonna put these 2 clips back in from this transformer. You can just gently press it closed. Now we can just go back to the air conditioner and put this whole thing back in. Alright guys, so you can just rest this and let it latch in like that. You can also put this screw in up here. Mine is actually wrong, so it's not going to do much, but you can just screw that in there. And after you have that screwed in there, you can start with any process, but there's going to be a few wires that we just have to put back. I'm going to start with this. Once the clip is back in there, right here, this should just slide in. There shouldn't be any difficulty about that, and it'll get to the bottom. You should be able to feel that pretty easily. Screw this green one in. put this over here, clip that back in. This is the sensor that actually tells when your machine outside needs to turn on and off depending on how cold it is in here. Remember, I did tell you what wires need to go in here, but if you forgot, the brown goes under the red one on top here, and it should just slide in fairly easily. Then you can take your screwdriver and tighten that in. Green one is just gonna go under the black, and you can tighten that one up as well. And then lastly, this multicolored one, the yellow and green one, which is ground, goes underneath the same green and yellow above it. Now we are going to plug all of these wires back in. Cover is just going to go back on with this part first, slide in there, and simply press down and clip in like that. Put this back on. There should be 2 wires on the left side and just 1 part of this green wire on the right side. Now we can just up this here where it was before, and we can get the cover back on now. You just get the cover, put it basically backwards the same way you put it, and make sure that cord is in the slot. Just press it on and push these 2 front clips in. Make sure all of these ones on top here are in. And we can put those 2 screws back. Just take this cover, and just how we took it off, you're just gonna push it that way at first and push it that way on this side just to get it fitted in there. It'll just pop in like that. You can wire this back in the slots here and just get that clip from wherever it got lost in there, and clip that in, put the cover back on. Lastly, we just have these filters that can slide in. They should not be burned like this. So if they are burned like that, you could probably replace them. I'm just gonna leave mine like that for now. And can put that in. And now we close this up and just plug it in, turn it on, working, and as you guys can see, there's no freezing, so that's really good. This should work. You shouldn't see any freezing or anything like that. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope this is something helpful for you, and please subscribe and drop a like. Also drop a comment. Let me know if this helped you. I'd really appreciate it. And you guys can also go check out the other video if you're wondering how to test the relay, because that might be helpful for you. So I'll see you guys later.